I'm Jim with Getting Fit for Kids. One of the pieces of equipment I use outdoors is a metal rake. I'd like to show you what to look for when purchasing a metal rake and what you need to do to adjust it to your specifications. When buying a yard rake or metal rake, make sure there's no screws or rivets whatsoever in the handle where the two come together, whatsoever, holding it on. You want it to where the rake sits down into the handle. It's glued, it's pressured down inside, whatever. No screws, no rivets, like this. The reason being, when you screw or when you drill through these brackets, the metal, to put any type of bracketing or stabilization, you are weakening the strength, and that will happen. So that one's no good. This one met my specifics to start with. However, as you notice, the teeth are rounded. They're not going to do a thing as far as grabbing in and doing what it's meant to do when raking with a metal rake. So when purchasing a rake, make sure it has the pointed tips, make sure it has no rivets and no screws. It's all applied together with some type of adhesive or pressure or what have you, but just no screws, no rivets. It eliminates the durability. Then when you get home, you're going to create something like this, so it lasts quite a while. And what I have here, and I'll show you on this one since it's all taped up just for protection, is I take a piece of tubing, aluminum or copper, and flatten it, and I'll put it around, let's take these off, the base where the two come together for durability, and another piece, usually a thinner piece, maybe copper, I'll take and bend it around through one of the teeth and down over the shaft, and then I'll put a couple hose clamps on. Again, I don't screw through those and screw it to the shaft, because then you're eliminating the durability of the handle, and if it gets damp or wet or you apply too much pressure, because of that hole in there, you're going to snap it. So 2 hose clamps and clamp it together. Then on this one, all you do, which I used a little piece of metal I had, a long bracket, I taped, and only taped, across the top, across the whole top of the rake. And the reason being, when you're applying pressure, it eliminates the possibility of the rake bending up when you're applying downward pressure. The reason for wrapping the other 2 areas, as you see here I have the copper piece, is when you're pulling it, it doesn't bend out. And of course down here, by wrapping it at the base here, don't need that in my face, wrapping it at the base here, it's keeping it where it was when you bought it. Nice and tight, where it should be, and put together like it was. Anything you want to do, you want to be able to do, basically. Any side easier. And as I mentioned earlier, I use this for my shoulder workout, upper body workout. It's the greatest, that's the great part of the great outdoors. Not only do you have the equipment that fit what you do and you're doing what you like to do, is you can go out and get the plastic coated, rubber coated, or any old metal weight. And put it on. And now you just add a little bit of weight. Enough weight to tell your muscles, hey, you have to work a little harder. You got to build a little more, because you're going to do the same amount of work with a little more weight. One beneficial point of this, whether you're doing this or a rake or a shovel, is any downward motion, any downward pressure that you would normally apply, the added weight's giving you that little more. So I don't really have to push the rake into the ground to rake. If I'm adding weight, the weight will do it itself. So I can really, really work the shoulders right now. I don't have to work my forearms, pushing it down and pulling or anything like that. However, lifting out and pulling, I can work the shoulders. You can do anything you want, both ways. Both ways. Shoulders out, out, both shoulders. And I'm always wearing a belt. I rather feel the pressure on my abs, which I know I'm working my abs by feeling the pressure of them tightening, versus the pressure on my back, which will only get sore. And you want to protect your back. I'm Jim with Getting Fit for Kids. Enjoy the great outdoors. Until next time, we'll see you later.